The Woodstove Sessions are brought to you by Kinden's Bakery, located at 151 Main Street, Lewisport, Newfoundland. By Music NL, motivated by a vision of music cultivated at home and celebrated everywhere. Le Gabotour, Newfoundland and Labrador's French language newspaper. And the Citadel House, where music comes to be heard.
So please welcome Big Jib Duo.
Well, guys, we're a Big Jib Duo. I guess we could let everyone know, I guess, in the house and out of the house, that we're half of a band, actually, from just outside of Claremont. We call ourselves Big Jib when it's four of us. And I guess we'll do we'll just do one quick plug tonight for our album that we had just released back in May. The title of the album is I Should Have Been a Sailor. And it's funny, before the show started, I was talking in the kitchen area regarding my surname, Blackmore. And my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they were sailors, and they were captains, boat builders. And anyway, it got lost in my father's generation. None of the boys took to the ocean. My grandfather died when he was 54, I think, 54, 56 years old. And the boys kind of all did their own thing. They went to work or whatever. And sometimes I feel like that part of the ocean, being a sailor, somehow I was supposed to do that, but it never happened. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. The stars would be my blanket as I taste the salty breeze. I'd sail into the sunset to whatever port I pleased. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. If I was a sailor, I'd comb the ocean tide for mermaids and orcas and treasure on the side. I'd play with the dolphins and chase the northern star and sing the sailing songs I know in a friendly foreign bar. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed seven seas. The stars would be my blanket as I taste the salty breeze. I'd sail into the sunset to whatever port I pleased. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. If I was a sailor, I'd keep the watch at night and listen to the humpbacks as they breach in silver light. I'd wave to other passing ships from a crow's nest up on high and sing back to the seabirds who fill my clear blue sky. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. The stars would be my blanket as I taste the salty breeze. I'd sail into the sunset to whatever port I pleased. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. If I was a sailor, I'd read the stars at night and write it in a logbook to make sure that it's right. I'd set my course and hoist my sail, give orders to the crew. I'd hold the wheel and steer my ship, 'cause that's what captains do. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed seven seas. The stars would be my blanket as I taste the salty breeze. I'd sail into the sunset to whatever port I pleased. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. Here I sit behind the desk and gaze out at the sea, knowing that the rolling waves are calling out to me. I can't complain, my life is good, but how grand would it be to weigh my anchor, hoist my sails, and head out to the sea. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. The stars would be my blanket as I taste the salty breeze. I'd sail into the sunset to whatever port I pleased. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. I should have been a sailor, should have sailed the seven seas. so much. So I'm not sure if you guys, I don't even know if this is in the bio, if you had a chance to read it, but the gentleman here to my right, and the left of the stage here, is my young fella. He's the baby of my family. So I don't even know if he could play a chord on an instrument. He's been playing for a very long time. When I recorded this song. So to tell you all about the song would be way longer than the song. So, but I always like picking out one of the verses. The song is about a time in my teenage years when I did a lot of stuff with my dad. And a lot of that happened to take place on the bogs of Newfoundland. We'd be picking bake apples or moose hunting, rabbit hunting, or, you know, going trouting was a big one. So anyway, there was a year that, it was the year of the beer strike. I don't know if you guys can remember the year of the beer strike in Newfoundland. Here you go. Here you go.
I remember that time too.
So it's not just the beer strike. I think that was in 1984, I think. So anyway, we had a big trouting trip planned into Rodney Pond, back at the other side of Gamble in there. And Dad used to get the maps out because he wanted to go into these remote areas and find the biggest kind of trout. That was the plan. And so we were going to go in the second burnt pond. So nowadays, I think there might be a road in the second burnt pond, but back then there wasn't. This was also back in the day before bottled water. You would get a tin of Pepsi or a bottle of Pepsi, but there's no such thing as going and buying bottled water back then. That didn't exist. So anyway, the day he decided that we were going to leave the main gravel road going in towards Rodney Pond, and we're going to trek across this gigantic bog to go out to Burnt Pond way off in the distance. It was 32 degrees that day. And we walked out there, and we were absolutely parched. Whatever we had to drink in the grub bag going out, cans of Pepsi, so that was gone. And then we broke out on the shore, and of course we were parched. And he got into the grub bag, and all he had in there was old Milwaukee beer. That's all that was left. And so we sat down, and I think that's probably the first time, legal or not, it was the first time I ever sat down and had a beer with my father. And the sad part of the story is we never got so much as a nibble for all that walking we done. Monsters, sure, we never got one to throw back. There was nothing.
This whole story is 10 times longer than the song.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a cute little song though called Trotting Across the Bog. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries, growing up and harvesting the bounty of this land. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Every step that I took made me closer to a man. I remember going trouting with my dad in second burnt pond. It was 32 degrees with the beer strike in the land. We crossed the bog for hours and never got a nibble, so we sat upon the shore with old Milwaukee in a can. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries, growing up and harvesting the bounty of this land. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Every step that I took made me closer to a man. My father in the summer would scour the bogs for hours, picking all his berries for to put in winter store. One summer I picked gallons and I sold them all for money, and I bought a leather coat that doesn't fit me anymore. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries, growing up and harvesting the bounty of this land. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Every step that I took made me closer to a man. I remember going hunting with my brother in the autumn. The first time we went out, we were looking for a bull. Well, now I am a father with 2 sons and a daughter, And when we get the chance, we'll all go bog trotting still. We'll go trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Growing up and harvesting the bounty of this land. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Every step that I took made me closer to a man. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Growing up and harvesting the bounty of this land. We were trotting across the bog for the fish, food, and berries. Every step that I took made me closer to a man. Yes, time was always well spent on the togs of Newfoundland. Joseph, did I just say the togs of Newfoundland?
Yeah, that's fine. That's a new song.
Well, I have often heard it said from me father and me mother that going to the wedding was the makings of another. If this be so, then I'll go without a bidding. Oh, kind Providence, won't you send me to a wedding? And it's so dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Well, now there's me sister Jean. She's not handsome or good looking, scarcely 16, and a fella she is courting. Now she's 24 with a son and a daughter. Here my 45, I haven't had an offer, and it's so dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Well, now I can cook and sew, I can keep the house right tidy, get up in the morning and get the breakfast ready. Nothing in this wide world would make me half so cheery as a wee fat man, oh, call me his old dearie. And it's so dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? So come landsman or come kinsman, come tinker or come tailor, come fiddler, come plowboy, come dancer or come sailor, come rich man, come poor man, come fool or come witty, come any man at all, oh, marry me for pity. And it's so dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? Play that mandolin. Well, now I'm on my way home. There's nobody heeding, nobody heeding the poor oh, and he's pleading. I'm on my way home to me own bit of garret. If I can't find the man, I'll have to find a parrot. And it's so dear me, how would it be if I died an old maid in the garret? If I died an old maid in the garret.
Thank you.
So this is one that I don't think we had any intention of ever releasing as any kind of a single. But what I'm finding in our circle of friends and people that we know where we're from that have purchased our album and have listened to the tunes, this is the song that we get the most questions about. They want to know, is it written about a real person? Is it, you know, and I've had 2 people now who perform in coffee house circuits that have approached me for the lyrics and the chords or the music to the song. So anyway, I'll give you a quick premise of what the song is about, I guess. The song is called Superstar Tonight. And as you guys probably well know, you see this everywhere, probably everywhere in the world, I don't know, but certainly in Newfoundland, and in particular in rural Newfoundland. You will see when there's someone in need, people will usually come together and try to help out. And one of the ways to do that is through musical fundraisers. Coffee houses, benefit conscious things that you see that all the time, and the people show up. Every community got them. The people who you can call on to come and play 2 or 3 songs at a coffee house or a concert, whatever. And so I just had this idea in my head, and it's a composite character, I guess. She happens to be female for no particular reason, but it's funny. It wasn't. I think it's before our album actually got released. We were in the mixing stage when one of our coffee house circuits home in Clareville lost a performer. And then people wanted to know, did I write this as a tribute to her? And to be honest, I didn't. However, she was one of the fabrics that make up, I guess, that character in the song. So anyway, I hope you kind of get what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I explained it well or not, but these people that you can rely on, they are very important to helping people get through tragedies in their lives, you know. And I just wanted to do a shout out to those people. Anyway, here's Superstar Tonight. Practice your count, Joseph. 1, 2, 3, 4. She stands before her mirror as she puts her lipstick on, checks her look and gives a smile as she hums her favorite song. She doesn't have much to give, but she gives with all her might. When she hits that stage at the old town hall, she'll be a superstar tonight. She plays an old 6-string she bought in '82. The frets are worn, it's all scratched up, but it sounds as good as new. She takes her old music book and a little clip-on light, and when she strums that old guitar, she'll be a superstar tonight. No, she'll never play the Opry or be on the radio. Never will be famous or have a name that all will know. But she'll be there to lend a hand no matter what the plight. She'll make her stand, do the best she can, and be a superstar tonight. She'll show up at the old age home to sing familiar tunes, or maybe play at a wedding on a lovely day in June. She'll always get a thank you, but never make a dime. But when she sings those first few words, she'll be a superstar tonight. No, she'll never play the Opry or be on the radio. Never will be famous or have a name that all will know. But she'll be there to lend a hand no matter what the plight. She'll make her stand, do the best she can, and be a superstar tonight. the door. For a burned down house or cancer, or raising money for the poor. She'll tune up her old guitar and step up to the mic. She'll sing and give with all she can and be a superstar tonight. No, she'll never play the Opry or be on the radio. Never will be famous or have a name that all will know. But she'll be there to lend a hand no matter what the plight. She'll make her stand, do the best she can and be a superstar tonight. No, she'll never play the Opry or be on the radio. Never will be famous or have a name that all will know. Not all heroes wear a cape, there's other ways to fight. Thank God for all the heroes who are superstars tonight. Yes, thank God for all the heroes who are superstars tonight.
Thank you very much, boys.
We on the way into Lewisport today, we had to stop in the Gander. So I guess a shout out to Papa John Sports in Gander. That's who did our last round of merchandise. And I gotta say, Josh out in PJ Sports is awesome to deal with. So we got like a truckload of merch out there, boys. Like we had to pick it up anyway. So, but Joseph is right. My wife, we talked about I guess what we wanted to do as a band, and because we do play a lot of genres. But obviously with Joe's skills on the mandolin, you can see how a Celtic kind of vibe, certainly something that dominates with us. But we play other things as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming out, and thank you to the Citadel House. Fantastic host today. That peppermint tea, by the way, was deadly. Yeah.
I think I had PG tips, and that's my favorite.
Anyway, that peppermint was growing in your garden, wasn't it? Yeah, awesome.
If you guys want peppermint tea, come here.
Anyway, so usually when we close out a show, this is the number we tend to do. It's one from the public domain. Lots of versions out there. This is ours.
It's not ours.
It is ours.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I guess so. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. I forgot we do something here that the other guys don't.
Boys, you can clap if you want. You don't have to. You can sing along too, by the way. Most everyone knows the words. Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to cross the water. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. Come get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to leave tomorrow. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away. Sometimes we're bound for Liverpool, more times we're bound for Spain. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. And now we're bound for Old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away. I wrote me love a letter, I was on the Jenny Lynn. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. I wrote me love a letter and I signed it with a ring. Heave away, me jolly boys are all bound away. Sometimes we're bound for Liverpool, more times we're bound for Spain. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. But now we're bound for Old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all bound away. So it's farewell, Nancy, darling, 'cause it's now I'm gonna leave you. Heave away, me jellies, heave away. You promised that you'd marry me, but how you did deceive me. Heave away, Me jolly boys are all bound away. Sometimes they're bound for Liverpool, more times they're bound for Spain. Heave away, me jollies heave away. And now we're bound for old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys are all bound away. This is where we miss our drummer. If we had our drummer now, he'd be doing the rolling the toms. And this is where we do our band introductions.
We also miss our bass player. Don't leave him out.
We do. Big shout out to Jeremy Party and to Jonathan Peach, who aren't here tonight. To my right, your immediate left, playing the mandolin so sweet. And of course that acoustic guitar. My youngest child, we're a father-son duo, if you didn't know. All the way from George's Brook, Milton, toddling on stage with me from about the age of 4. Give it up for Mr. Joseph Blackmore.
Ladies and gentlemen, to my left and your right, my dad, my mother's husband, and my sister's father, Mr. Curtis Blackmore.
Sometimes they're bound for Liverpool, more times they're bound for Spain. Heave away, me jollies heave away. But now we're bound for old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys are all bound away. Sometimes they're bound for Liverpool, more times they're bound for Spain. Heave away, me jollies heave away. But now we're bound for old St. John's, where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys are all bound away. Heave away, me jolly boys are all bound away. Heave away, me jolly boys were all bound away.
Thank you.